such a long winter. There's a lot of vegetation. It looks like the pinyon trees are going to be loaded with nuts this year, pine cone. Right up here to the left is a elderberry tree. Lots of wildflowers up here still. You could go in August up here and see wildflowers if you go high enough. There's the elderberry bushes back in there. On by the elderberry bush there. The ground is still damp up here. Wild irises up here in the trailhead too, and I'm sure there's a lot of wild currants this year. There's the elderberry bush right there. See that bush? That's the elderberry. That's where Marilyn gets her elderberries, right there most of the time. White sage. It's a real good feed for cattle and horses and deer.
Well, I would say if I were a deer, I'd want to live up here.
You'd what?
If I were a deer, I'd want to live up here. There seems to be a lot of good food and shelter.
Yeah. Real dense along that creek. I lived here for 3 years in the summertime, early spring to summer, all the way through summer hunting wild horses. This made my life right here in this country. Like Hannibal, Missouri, and the Mississippi River. Did Mark Twain that did that to me. Usually I see deer in here. See the big banks of snow still.
Yeah.
Wildflowers, huh?
Yeah, it's like when they came, when whenever it was that I came. I was thinking, was that the end of April? Was that the beginning of May? I can't even remember.
When was that?
When we brought Marilyn's truck up.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember.
But it was so beautiful. The wildflowers, it was spectacular.
Oh, yeah, across the desert and up here. Up here, we had more wildflowers than across the desert. More flowers than Tehachapi, anyway. This place is just covered with it. I used to ride those trails all the way back up in these mountains. You see the trails, the animal trails?
Yep.
Those are animal highways. And you go up there and you follow those trails. There's the Arlema Ranch cattle.
Last year they were bringing them up on the road.
That's when they were bringing them up, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, there's a lot of wild irises there. There's wild onions up here too. FJ Cruiser. Guy shot that deer standing right up there last year. Look at the wild irises. You see that? Just loaded. Isn't that neat?
It's beautiful.
You think she might want to get out and go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I'm thinking we should.
Let me get turned around up here a little bit.
Probably should offer her a drink too.
Yeah.
What are those orange?
What's that?
Those orange flowers.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that are very hyperallergenic.
Oh.
Don't mess with them. Is this too high for you, or
I think it's okay.
can you get out like this?
I don't know. I'll see.
All right, let's turn the camera off. Oh, I gotta get that wild place. See that? You're in a wild place. Where is it? There it
Oh,
is.
that was kind of high.
How we doing?
Hi there.
Good. You're getting some good film.
What's that?
You're getting some good film, right?
Yeah, I used to live here, right there,
Yeah, right here.
right there.
How many years did you live there?
1957, 58, and 59.
Jeez.
Hunting wild horses
I
and
think
training them for these ranches
It
down
was
here.
65 was my first year here.
What was that?
1965.
65?
Hello.
Hi, hi.
Where are you from?
Yarrington.
Oh, Yarrington. Yeah.
My brother, he lives here. We both have property up here now.
Where does he live here in Fish Lake?
Up off of Chattabooch Creek.
That's
up
where I
on,
live.
He probably knows who you are.
Yeah.
Troy?
Troy. Yeah. Oh, Troy Shipley.
Yeah. That's him sitting over there.
We have something in common.
Yeah.
Hello, Troy.
He knows you.
We have something in common. We both saw Bigfoot.
He did, right here, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He saw his right here. But I saw mine out by the hot
We were
well.
just talking about Bigfoot. I have seen him too in a different location at high elevation. They like high elevations.
Yeah, well, I saw it out there, which I hunted all my life. I was a hunting guide and everything, and I always said there was no
You've been in the wilderness all
Bigfoot.
your life.
Huh?
You've been out in the wilderness all your life.
All my life, ever since I was.
The Indians have tales about
Well,
it.
I'm Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am Indian.
Yeah, well,
That's what I am.
tribes than me.
I'm Cherokee and Chickasaw and
I
Brule
know.
Lakota, Santee
I got all
Dakota,
the C's,
Ojibwe.
I got all the C's in me, like your Cherokee and
Yeah.
Crow and Chippewa and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, Troy saw that one up there. I saw one out there about a mile and a half this side of the hot well.
Oh, wow.
I saw it walking for a long time out
Yeah.
across there. It walked really weird.
Yeah,
I was.
yeah. You didn't know what it was. It wasn't a bear.
Well, I thought it was a man. Except it was
A
walking.
hairy man.
Well, it's too far away and it was
No,
dark.
it's too far away.
And anyway, I watched it and I said, well, he's broke out down out here, and I'm gonna go up. The road goes up like that and then comes down. I said, he'll cut me off down there. You know, I'd set that in my mind. My son was there with me and he was talking, and I was just listening to him. And
Wow.
anyway, hello, Troy.
You guys both seen Bigfoot together.
I'm not together.
Well,
Well, anyway, he walked
You've
across the
both seen
road in
Bigfoot.
front of me down there, and I went into total shock.
what year was that?
He saw Bigfoot.
Uh,
Down by the hot spot.
88, about no, 80, 85 or something like that. Hello there.
He's seen Bigfoot too.
What year is your Jeep?
2003.
I got a 2006 Rubicon. I was going, that's pretty close to same year.
Well, that's the 2003 Rubicon.
Yeah,
I got a 2007 Jeep, one that's made by Toyota.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. I was going to buy one of them down there at Perry Motors, and my wife said she liked that one,
Oh.
and now she won't ride in it. And Sharon comes up here every year. She's one of my students, and she stays a week with us. And anyway, she rides with me.
Iris is looking good. Right?
Oh yeah, they're beautiful.
So you guys live fairly close together now, but
No, we're about 8 miles apart.
You know, we're Judy in back. Judy and his name.
Tom?
They had the house right there on the corner. And
Judy and
Marianne,
Tom.
you know where Marianne.
Marianne down there.
He's right up, just up a little past.
I'm right on the other side of where
Right on
Bill
the
and
corner.
what's that other guy's name? Judy and
He's a gun collector too.
Well, good. We didn't see you at the potluck at the last night when they had the
I was there.
Hudson. Oh,
He was there at the Hudson.
I was there. Yeah,
I saw
I didn't
you.
see you.
I saw you, but I was sitting down in the
I was there with taking care of my wife. You know,
Yeah.
I take care of her, and she takes a lot of care.
Well, in the early days, she took care of you.
What?
In the early days, she took care of you. No, I'm just giving you crap. She
Well,
took care of you.
I always took care of her ever since we got married. With 25 years.
Oh.
First year we got married, she had pneumonia 5 times. They didn't expect her to live at all. Then she got cancer 2 different times.
We were talking John and Deb Carroll. They got 47-year anniversary coming up. John and Deb Carroll,
Oh yeah.
47 years of being married.
I lived right here. We had a great big army tent right there. I had a horse trail right here. You'll find there's one right there, no. There's a couple of old T-posts out there where my corral was. And we'd go up here and hunt these horses and catch them
What year?
Wild horses.
57, 58, and 59.
Albino trout in there back then.
Oh,
He-
yeah.
he knows
Oh,
about
yeah. Yeah.
And they came and took them all out.
What was your name again?
Jim Phillips.
Paris.
What's your name?
Paris, like France, Paris, and then of course Troy. Everybody knows.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Everybody
I'm deaf.
knows. Okay, Jim. All right.
What is your name again?
Paris, like.
Oh, Paris.
I can't
Paris,
read.
like France.
I gotta have my ear.
Well, they came, Bishop Heating and Air Conditioning came up there and put air conditioning in my home and left the propane going for 40 hours.
Oh, that's
and I woke
good.
up the first day and I was deaf.
Yeah. Oh.
And I haven't been able to hear since.
Well, you're lucky you're still alive.
Well, I had,
You're lucky you're alive.
I lost my
Carbon
hearing.
monoxide.
I ophthalmic problems, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, Sharon, this is Troy and Paris.
Doesn't make
Hi,
you
Sharon.
He lives up there. This is the guy that saw the Bigfoot
up there,
up here.
up on
They
the top.
both seen Bigfoot.
Yeah, we've both seen a Bigfoot.
And not too many people seen Bigfoot.
Well, I could have done without it, to tell you the truth.
No.
I mean, I'm kind of glad I saw it, but I was so afraid when I saw it. I was such terrorized that I didn't want to see it anymore. I don't want to ever see another one.
I'm glad there's 4 other people that saw it with me, because we're all
Yeah.
standing this close, and we go, look at that.
How far was it?
We have never found
Oh, 200 yards.
200 yards.
But we got to see it because it ran in the, we got to see it for 2 or 3 minutes running and jumping.
I watched it for probably 5 or 10 minutes walking. Nothing walks like a Bigfoot. Nothing walks like a Bigfoot. Nothing.
This one was running, and it actually crawled over boulders. And,
Yeah.
But it was moving so fast.
Tell me that on this camera.
It was
How many years ago was it when you saw the Bigfoot?
probably about 14 years ago.
Okay. How many miles above here? 5?
About 5, almost the very top. We were just 200 feet from the top.
Yeah.
And a guy was going across to Montgomery on that saddle. A rock fell over and
Yeah.
it come running out of a cave. And it ran for 3 to 4 minutes out in the open and jumping rocks and crawling over. But it was fast.
Well, that thing down there, it just disappeared. It walked across the road in front of me, not further than that tree right there. No, closer than that rock right there in front of me. But I watched it for a long time, but I thought it was a man until it walked out in front of me.
I thought this was a man.
It was about 7, 8 foot tall.
This
Yours was
wasn't-
shorter.
Yeah, it's like 6 foot.
Yeah. Mine was 7, 8 foot tall, the color of a deer. Short hair. No
This is
long
a-
hair.
This is a reddish color, reddish brown.
I got a little story to tell you about that too. Anyway, it was tall and slender.
I got,
It,
I got scoliosis.
oh, I do
Can't
too.
stand too long.
That's bad.
No.
Anyway,
I'm good now.
and so it just when it went across there, it was about 7, 8 foot tall. It had been rolling in alkali dust, and dust was coming off its hair, and it was looking kind of away from me, walking like that. If it looked at me, I felt like I would have died. That's how terrorized I was. I had a 44 Magnum in the seat and a spotlight, and my son grabbed the spotlight, and I said, "Leave it alone." I put his hand down and said, "Leave that thing alone." And I said, "What did you?" And I pulled up a little further, and I said, "Did you see something here?" "Yeah, what did you see, Dad?" And I said, "What did you see?" And I took off. He said, "What are you doing?" Let's see if there's any foot trail. I said, "No, leave that thing alone."
How about the arms? You notice anything?
Huh?
The arms, you notice anything?
Oh, its arms were long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, long.
Down to
Yeah,
the knees.
you know, almost to his knees. Anyway, it had real long muscles, you know. It wasn't muscular. It was broad, but it was slender, no stomach
Kinda
at all.
Lanky.
Huh?
I'd say it's kind of lanky. the way
Lanky.
it's up.
It was kind of lanky with me. And anyway, I saw it, and I went on down. I drove down there. He said, "Let's go back." I said, "No." He said, "Dad, you can shoot a penny in the air. I've seen you do it 1,000 times." And he said, "You got a 44 Magnum in the seat loaded. What's wrong with you?" And I said, "It's not enough." I said, "It's not enough."
That's not enough stopping power.
No, it's not enough. Anyway, I went on down and we stopped right there at 264. And I said, "I'll tell you what I saw." We kept saying, "What do you see?" And I say, "What I see." And I said, "I saw something 7, 8 foot tall, the color of a deer, with alkali dust coming off its hair, walking just a little bit far away from me." And I said, when it went out there in the bushes, it just disappeared. And he said, "Well, do you think it was a deer walking on its hind legs?" And I said, "No." He said, "Do you think it's a bear?" And I said, "No." I said, what I saw was a Bigfoot, and I didn't believe in him until this moment. I said, "I've been in the woods all my life, as you know." And I said, "I know every animal that moves in the woods." And I said, this is not normal. This is beyond the normal world we live in, Jimmy. I said, this is beyond. It's supernatural. Something, it's different.
I was with 5 people up there. I was
You saw yours. Now, give us a little statement on that.
There was 5 of us. There were 2 of my college roommates and 2 guys.
And you're a former police officer.
And we stopped on the trail because it's so very narrow.
Oh, it's
We
narrow.
Stopped on the trail so they could go by. And just as they were going by and they were standing next to us, I go, "Oh man, look at that guy down there." He was down in the shell rock.
Yeah.
And everybody looked down there, and nobody said anything. I go, "Look at what fancy climbing suit he's wearing," because it looked like he had all this hair and stuff hanging down. It looked like a neon suit or something.
Yeah.
And then it got real quiet. And then we just sat there and watched. And then finally, after 2 or 3 minutes after it went over this ridge, I was going, "What did you guys see?" And all of them said, "I don't know. I don't know what it was." I said, "That wasn't a man." And I go, "It kind of looked like an ape." And they go, "Yeah." And the 2 guys with me, when we got back, we said, "There's a Bigfoot."
It's Bigfoot.
And they didn't deny it. They go, "No, that was a Bigfoot."
Well, that Catherine on Monster Quest, I talked to them. I talked to Bigfoot Research. I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people talked to me. Art Bell talked to me a lot of time. I knew Art Bell, and he wanted me to get on his show. He had 2 guys on there that had supposedly killed a Bigfoot. And Kathy, whatever's her last name, and her husband, I talked to her husband. Her husband had seen one away off. He said it was like a mile away. And he said, "I know it was a Bigfoot," but he said, I just the way it moved and everything. And I said, "Well, and they talked to me, and they said I was because I had been in the woods all my life. I was a hunting guide. I'm Native American. I guided in these mountains. I fished in these mountains. I hunted wild horses and the greenhorns. I was a guide on the Tone Ranch. You heard of the Tone Ranch, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was a guide there for 20 years. I trained horses for them when I was young. And anyway, they said yours is the most valid. And I asked them about the guys that shot the Bigfoots in Texas. And Catherine, what her name is now, she told me, she said, "Too many holes in it, too many holes." She said, "Yours don't have any holes. You have no holes."
Did you see the footage of a...
What?
Did you see the footage of somebody who filmed one?
The Patterson. That's a big...
No, that's the old one. This
Yeah.
was within the last year or so.
Yeah.
They were on an elk hunt.
Yeah.
It was on a bowl on the mountain,
Uh-huh.
and they were probably 2 miles away, but they
Oh,
were
yeah. It was walking in the snow.
in the snow.
Yeah.
And you could see it moving. And
Yeah.
There's no way that was a human or an elk.
Well, I'll tell you what the Patterson's film videoed was no man. That was no joke.
No,
But that was a
that's
feminine,
still one of
that
the
was a
best.
female Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's one of the best films ever.
Absolutely. Yeah, that walk like I saw that one walk, except that one much heavier than what I saw. Mine was tall and lanky, like you said.
Yeah, I feel kind of blessed.
Watch for ticks, and Sharon, watch for ticks.
I got some spray if she needs some spray.
Yeah.
There's no mosquitoes.
We got ticks all over those horses up here when we had the horses here. The creek was the barrier over there, and they got across that creek over there, eating those willows and things, and we had to throw those horses down and take those ticks off between their legs, and it was a mess.
Yeah, my dogs have never got them up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it.
Troy, do you want me to bring you a beer?
I could get it.
You
You're
want
crippled. I could
water
get it. You're
or anything,
crippled.
Jim?
What?
You want ginger ale or water or anything?
Oh no, thank you. We got some up there though. Thank you though.
Okay.
I drink water more than I do anything. I got some Perrier water.
Now, I think I'm switching over to water. Oh, but water and beer. Hardly ever any soda pop though. I usually drink soda pop.
Rocks off the mountains and port.
Oh, okay.